One Dark Night from 1982. And this is features the fantastic Adam West. And as a part of the initiation into a club called the Sisters, a young girl must spend the night in a mausoleum. Directed by Tom McLaughlin, known for writing Friday the 13th, Part 6. Jason Lives.
One of my favorites.
6.
I had to watch this in a real weird way. I had to watch it on a
strong one.
On Vumu. Did you watch it on Vumu?
What, this one?
Yeah.
I don't remember what I watched.
It's like a weird Russian YouTube or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You have it on DVD.
I picked this up on Blu-ray. I heard good things about this, and I was a borderline. I don't necessarily like to buy a movie if I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard enough good things. It was right after Adam West died, so I just went ahead and bought it.
Yeah, that was I didn't know anything about it coming in. His name popped up on the credit, and I said, "Huh, well, that's a nice little surprise."
I would have loved it if he was the crazy magic guy. That would have been a better use of
Crazy
him.
magic man.
Yeah, whatever you call that. This movie also stars Meg Tilly, the lesser Tilly.
Jennifer Tilly's sister?
Yeah, the lesser. Yeah. She's the lesser Tilly.
Half the movie I was trying to figure out. I was like, man, what have I seen her in?
Yeah.
And then I remembered the name at the beginning. I was like, I think she's her sister.
It also stars Elizabeth Daily. Do you remember her from Pee-wee's Big Adventure? She was Dottie.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She also does Tommy Pickles on Rugrats voice and one of the Powerpuff Girls. But if you look her up now, she doesn't look anything
Who
like...
was she in this?
She was one of the girls.
Which one?
They had no real discerning personalities. The brown-haired one? The short one?
The one that looked like Meg Tilly?
No, that was Meg Tilly.
The one that got out.
Oh, we moved on.
The one that got out of the car.
What's her
and
name?
Didn't go with him.
Her name's
Dottie.
Dottie. She looked like Dottie
Gotcha.
from Pee-wee.
She's the one that looks like Dottie.
Gotcha. Yeah, sure.
But she doesn't look like that anymore. She got like a bunch of plastic surgery. It looks all crazy.
Gotcha.
What's the deal with that toothbrush that girl has and keeps putting in her mouth? Did they?
She just likes the taste of it. She answered that.
That's fucking weird, man. I'm not down with that.
She answered it.
For a low budget movie, I think this movie was done well.
Yeah, I want to. Anybody who plans on watching this, I want to make a note that at 55 minutes, there's like the craziest camel toe that I think I've ever seen in jeans. That's forever. So it's worth. I mean, if nothing else, you've got that weird. It looks like the most uncomfortable thing that could happen to a woman. But
how much does that boost this movie? Like, you don't have to give it a rating, but did that come into play?
If you want to see Dottie from Pee-wee's Big Adventures, camel toe, it's in here for like 20 minutes. There's like a scene at 55 minutes. No, but the effects look pretty rough at the end. I think it looks more like
it's dated. It doesn't hold up exactly
80s.
well.
It's 80s effects.
It definitely feels like something you would run into at the end of a Halloween haunted trail.
I felt like this was a horror movie made for kids, but not made for kids at all.
Yeah.
No gore. If you're looking for a gore fest, this is not it.
All the stuff that you leave out of horror movies for kids was left out of this, but all the stuff you put in to keep kids entertained was not.
I think that like one of the things
it's PG, isn't it?
It has to be.
I think it's PG.
Oh, you don't have that?
Pretty sure
I
it's
would have had
PG.
that, but I don't have my notebook.
One of the things I think was an odd choice was like, okay, this guy's a magician of sorts or whatever. What is his power? To make bodies fall on you.
He's a psychic.
Okay.
They talk about it in the movie.
Yeah, I saw that part.
He's a psychic.
Yeah. Well, he's
the guy. The guy actually. They actually have a scene where he explains it exactly.
There is a difference though between a psychic and a guy that can also control things with his mind. After
telekinetic.
death.
Psychics can.
He's a magic guy.
In
Same
the movies,
thing.
psychics can be telekinetic.
Same
and
thing.
he even had a scene where he explained that he likes to move the dead bodies around.
Did you watch this movie?
They set it up.
I thought it was an odd choice, as that his power is to make bodies appear and be be leaned upon you.
That's not his power. That's just the thing he does.
Well, it sounds like you're talking about a hobby he has.
That's pretty much how
on the weekends.
That's pretty much how he explained it. He's like, it gets them scared,
but they're not
when their
gonna
adrenaline's
die,
peaked. He
right?
sucks the life out of them, and then just
Oh,
kind of likes to move them around, their dead bodies around with his mind. And he even says he doesn't bring them back to life. He just animates them.
Because it seemed less like if you could overcome the fear of the dead, just more inconvenient. Like, oh god,
So-
there's like 6 bodies on me.
What happened? What happens to this? What happens to this girl?
Well, she, her friends, or not friends, enemies, I guess, those girls come in to terrorize her through the night. And then, what do you suppose spurns this guy into fucking Magic Town? I mean, the disrespect of the graves, probably, or something.
I think he just was.
He was just.
They said in the movie.
That's what he does.
They said in the movie he was experimenting to try to figure out what death
Yeah.
was like. So I think it's very possible that he had something to do with his own death because he knew he could resurrect himself.
Mhm.
They kind of lead towards that, but
Yeah.
yeah, I thought.
Shot well,
Yeah,
great atmosphere, and I didn't look at the budget, but I know this is a low budget movie. I thought it was done.
yeah.
I thought it was done great.
I thought it's a, in terms of putting it all together, it's a solid made, just kind of 80s, little generic.
And it's what I expected too. I love.
I think
Part
it would have
6.
been. I think it would have been stronger if they would have got to any of the. There is no horror in the movie at all until the last 19 minutes and 55 seconds, something like that. I
guess.
watched because
No, I guess, but there's the atmosphere. It's all there. Like it. Nothing's gonna happen that's gonna say, oh, that's a horror movie. But I felt like I'm watching a horror movie.
yeah.
I mean,
without
we don't have to put everything in a box. It could just be a movie. You know,
It could be a movie.
this could be the last Roundup movie show.
well, it could be.
But yeah, I'm just saying that's my
Yeah, no.
issue with it. The beginning chunk of the movie was made fine, except there is no. I mean, it's just teenagers trying to fit in and a woman dealing with her dad's death, and I mean, the acting is fine in it. Adam West,
It's okay.
is good. Everything's solid. Nothing standing out, but nothing so bad that I'd be like, I actually enjoyed the last 20 minutes of it. I really liked everything that went on because it was fairly generic, cheesy 80s, but in that kind of perfect representation way.
I agree.
Not everything's perfectly explained, just kind of, there's not a lot of gore, but I thought the dead bodies were cool looking. And it's just a bunch of dead bodies popping out of graves, floating around, and people running from them, and a guy shooting lightning out of his eyes. I like all that.
A lot. I've read a couple places and heard people say some compare this to Poltergeist. Even say it was kind of ripped off from that. But I think this was actually out first before Poltergeist. But they've also compared it to Phantasm. But
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
the mausoleum's the only thing that.
But
that popped up, but again, it's just the mausoleum. I think for what they spent the first hour or so setting up, you didn't need more than 20 minutes to set up a girl trying to get in with other girls that don't like her, and they're pulling a trick on her, and then Adam West and his wife's storyline about the guy dying. You could do all that in 20 minutes, or 20 minutes or a half hour, and then spend about an hour or 40 minutes making the mausoleum scene. Like, you could just spend the last 2/3 of the movie there, have that slowly build, things get worse and worse, and then peak at the end. I think that's
what do
a
you
better
think,
movie.
Greg?
well, I think that if the effects are going to look the way they look, maybe not try to be so serious about everything. Like they could have put Adam West in a better role. I think. I don't know. There's things about it. I think the soundtrack was great. I thought the score overall was a really great score. but I only gave it a 2 out of 10.
That's
Yeah.
pretty low.
I thought there was too much on the relationship between all the people that I mean, get to the thing that's going to happen. I don't care about this boyfriend whatsoever. I don't need to know why the fuck that girl doesn't like her. I don't give a shit. I want to get they don't like each other. You could even say there was a boyfriend. You don't have to include him in so many scenes and so many bullshit things that happen. But, you know,
I agree with all that except the rating.
Yeah. I'm not good at rating things, so I think we've established that.
Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I gave it a 7.
Nothing to add to it, just a straight 7.
No, I mean, I'm sorry I said everything.
Yeah, I gave it a 6.
For low budget, good, decent acting.
Yeah, I gave it a 6.
Done well, shot well.
Not a movie I say anyone needs to go watch, but definitely not one you need to avoid. It's just kind of a standard horror movie. I think, like I said, I think it'd be a lot better if you'd have spent 45 minutes in the mausoleum.
Good, safe movie to let your kids watch, I would say.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.